just wondering, with the new album, it being a collaborative record and everything with Nick Hornsby, was it challenging to take someone else's lyrics and have to put it in your own music?
Well, no, I think it was actually easier for me to do it that way. I liked it because it just involved being what I was referring to as a lyric whisperer, where I just look at the lyrics as they came through email and try to see what the melody was supposed to be. It usually took about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to have a basic form of the song. When I write myself, I start with music, and then it takes me sometimes months or years to figure out what the music is actually about. I find it easier to translate the lyrics into music. So, and Nick's lyrics were so good, it made it easy.
What inspired the resequencing for Stems and Seeds, and what parts of the album do you think benefit most from that?
I don't think I have any perspective on that one at all. What you're talking about is that the album, for people who don't know, the album was a very loud album, and it was recorded that way, it was performed that way, and it was mastered that way. There's a big group of people jumping on the bandwagon that loud is bad, it's not musical, and is somehow invalid. And I think when people look back in 20, 30 years, you'll hear a sound that comes out of our era, which will be loud. That's what it is. The 70s 45s are very loud too. There's a loudness for it. At any rate, my aim with that re-release was to let people take the stems, meaning the individual tracks, and find out for themselves what caused that. Hopefully, looking back on it, if the album sucks, which I don't think it does, but even if it does, that it would be some contribution to being transparent about it, saying, here's what the tracks sound like, and you can figure it out for yourself. So that's what the resequencing was just. I couldn't help it. I wanted to tinker with it. If I remixed it, I thought, well, I could resequence it. So that's my tick.
Where have you hung the picture of that sea of middle fingers from Bonnaroo, and do you plan on continuing that tradition at the inaugural HullabaLOU?
No, I didn't bring my camera for this one. That was sort of a Bonnaroo thing. It happens to be that both times I had the same massive camera for that shot. I printed about 10 copies of the darkroom. It's really difficult to print photographs of I don't know what that was, 30, 40,000 people flipping you off. Hard to get the contrast right so that it's obvious that those are middle fingers.
What's it like to be a white male in middle class?
You don't know my pain. I mean, you can turn on Fox News to find out.
Did Nick write Levi Johnson's lyrics?
Nick wrote the lyrics to that the morning after the Republican National Convention. He's not interested in our politics, he's English. But what he was interested in was the one young man that he perceived, was going to have to get married for just for the theater of American politics. And I think that what that song really is it's about growing up fast. And I think everyone's got a story. One thing you can remember from being a teenager is you go, oh wow, yesterday I was a kid and now I have to do this thing, like something about it. And that's really what the song is about. And unfortunately, Levi, or fortunately for him, but unfortunately for our song, Levi has become a huge rock star now. So now the song, I think, longer will be sort of clouded with the image of the circus around him, but it really was supposed to have been about what Nick thought would be maybe the tiniest footnote. And it's in all the headlines. So Nick's a prophet.
One more question?
I got one. I'm going to take it back a little bit. Your university acapella album.
Yeah.
I was a music major in college, so I was surrounded by the acapella groups in my college. What do you think of acapella music? I mean, what inspired you to go ahead with that album?
Well, I think it's great. As a music student, I probably weren't, there's definitely not major in this one. There may not even be a single class that you get credit for it, and yet every university has up to 4 fairly active a cappella groups. So that's people on on their own time of their that they're self-motivated to do this. And I think the interesting thing is, as you know about a cappella music, is while you can play something on the piano or the guitar or any instrument in an ensemble, and it falls into your hands or you're told what to play, you don't necessarily need to understand the voice. It helps. But these kids, in whatever language that they happen to be speaking, have to learn and understand the nature of voice leading and how it all works, and that's what determines the success of an arrangement with that kind of music. And I think it's amazing that you've got so many kids that are willing to spend their time when they could be doing beer bongs and keg stands. They could do that at the same time, but they've managed to pull this together. I think it's amazing. So in short, I think it's a really good sign. I also think that no matter what happens in the world, if we have a horrible long-term economic downturn, then certainly everyone can still afford to sing.
We have to take him and whisk him away to his stage. He performs in 15 to 20 minutes. So thank you very much.